Hey you guys, I'm the Maha Mechanic and welcome back to part 2 of how to remove a head gasket. So today we're going to be stripping off the cam housing and taking off the actual cylinder head itself and the head gasket. So let's get into it. So next we're going to want to remove our belts. And yes, you can remove the pulley and whatnot. That'll make it easier. But I don't have a flywheel lock yet. Still waiting on that. So I will just be removing it without removing the pulley. Now, what we're gonna want to do, since I have a later car, flashlight for you, an early car, I should say, I don't have the spring tensioner, which if you have a late car, it'll go right here. Mine is just a mechanical one down in there for the timing belt. So we're going to want to remove or loosen that up so that the timing belt is loose. And the tensioner for the balance shaft belt is right there. I'm going to loosen that one too, just so that we can take off these belts. So let's get to it. I think it's going to be easier to get to them from the bottom, so I'm going to raise the car up and go underneath. So for the balance shaft belt right here, I'm just going to loosen this up. So I believe it's a 17 millimeter. It's going to break this loose. So that's loose. Should be able to just roll this around, little roller, but there we go. There we go. Oh, nuts. I'm gonna have to remove this roller. Maybe. So you're also gonna have to remove this roller here. Maybe we can move this up like that. There we go. And off comes our balance shaft. Now that we're down here, camera around here so you guys can see. There we go. Here is the tensioner for the timing belt. It's pretty dirty. Let me try to clean that up a little bit before I get a wrench on there. We're gonna want to loosen that up so that we can take the timing belts off as well. I'm gonna get a deep socket for that. There we go. And now our timing belt is untensioned. Just pop that off of. Okay. So it also appears that we're gonna have to remove this little guide plate here, and I believe those are 10 millimeter bolts. So let's do that now. If you can't see it, it goes from up here and like blocks it so that the timing belt can't hit each other as they're passing by. So just 10 millimeter. Remove the guide plate, just like that. Wow, that is a lot dirtier than I expected. Set that aside. And now we can start removing our timing belt. There's that. You can move it from the inside here. There we go. So we got it popped off there. Hold there. There are belts off. Definitely needed it, I believe. Yeah, you can see through it there. Right there, it has a cut in it. The previous owner told me that he just replaced the timing belts. False. I don't believe you, sir. Anyway, now that we got our belts off, we can lower the car back down and start removing our stuff for our cam tower, cam gear, all that stuff. So let's lower her down. So now that we got the belts removed, we can start removing all our bolts for our camshaft housing or cam tower or valve cover, whatever name that you like to call it. We can start removing them. There's 6 on the top and I believe 9 on the bottom here. I think they're 8mm like Allen screws or hex heads, whatever you like to call them. So let's start removing those. For the bottom one, you're going to need a longer extension, I believe. So I do have these nice Craftsman T-handle Allen keys here that will make it nice to remove because it has a long handle. Anyway, just break these loose and remove them. Bottom ones are not. They look to be like 6mm. So I'll get 6. So for clearance reasons on this bolt, I removed this little reservoir for the power steering. I moved it out of the way so I could actually get to this bolt and break it loose. Now I have done that. I will leave it out of the way while I try to remove all of these. So I'm going to remove the bottom ones first because they're harder to get to, and then go to the top ones and remove those. So now that we got all the bottom bolts removed, I'm going to start removing the top ones one by one. I'm going to leave probably this one or this one in the middle just so that I can start removing them. And these do have washers, so don't forget to take those with them. I want to get into those. I believe they are 6mm, just like the ones on the bottom. Oh, good God. Oh, holy cow. That one's on there. Oh my God. Whew. That one's being rough. All right, I'm gonna see what else I can do because this one's not working. Oh my Lord. Oh, yeah, that one worked. All I need was a vice grip. All right, now let's remove them all. Like a game of operation. Time for removal. So there appears to be another bolt here that connects to the cam gear cover. Right there somewhere. I'm gonna have to remove that before I can remove cam gear. You can see down in there those shiny things. If it'll focus on the shiny things. The shiny things are the lifters. And they are coming out right now, especially that one way back there. That one's about halfway out. Oh wait, no, that one is more than halfway out. That one's almost all the way out. So yeah, this little bolt right there, that little bolt is what's holding this thing on, not letting it come off. So let's remove that bolt. Ooh, this is gonna be difficult. They are all sliding out. It's not what I want. Stuff. Whew. These bad boys wanted to come out on me. I say no. Nay, nay. Here we go. So that took a while, but I finally got the cam housing out without actually dropping all of the lifters everywhere. It's just a little tedious process. So yeah, that was a little tedious. Just tilt it back first and start, like, keep pushing those things in, and then eventually you can just flip it over a little bit and then lift it out. It is actually pretty heavier than I thought. Thought it would be. The cam is still in there, so that's probably why. And now we're left to just our head and exhaust manifold and this coolant flange here. I believe that is it holding our head on, besides the bolts holding it on there. So yeah, so let's just remove this coolant flange here. It has one, it looks like 6mm hex head, and there are two 6mm hex heads right there. There we go. Oh my god. I thought I just broke it loose. Apparently I wasn't loose enough. I don't know if it's because these screws and the head are made out of different materials that they like to stick to each other. But these things are in there, out of this hose. So there we go. Oh, that's where some coolant go. Okay, now that we got our coolant flange off, we can go and remove our exhaust manifold. In my case, it's a header, so this should be interesting. There's not much clearance to actually remove it, so we'll see. I have been dreading this for a while. There are just a bunch of nuts on there. I mean, well, it looks like every single cylinder, or every single one is missing a nut. This one's missing a nut, this one's missing a nut, that one's missing a nut, and this one's missing a nut. So that's interesting. This nut's also sideways, so I don't know if that one's cross-threaded. Oh, should be interesting. So, yep, I'm gonna get these out of here. Well, that broke loose easier than I thought it was. So I believe I'm going to need a breaker bar for these. Yeah, it's definitely invest one of these if you're going to do this. That breaker bar, yikes. Holy cow, those are tight. Definitely need a breaker bar for this. Now my socket's all oily, so I have to clean that up. There we go. I haven't removed any of the nuts on the bottom. I mean, I've removed them, but I haven't taken them out. Now I don't want to get my hands all, as I say that, I don't want to get my hands all dirty. Yeah, this one's kind of hard to get out. I'll just get it out when I get the cylinder head out. So anyway, good. Now we got all the nuts holding the cylinder head on. So just double checking here, make sure that there are no bolts or nuts that are going to keep our cylinder head on. And it looks like right here there are bolts that are keeping the cylinder head on. So let's just remove those. And now we should be able just to remove the cylinder head. Take a picture real quick before I remove it. Oh. What is keeping you on? I just moved it, I pulled it up a little bit, and a whole bunch of coolant just drained out of the engine. Ooh, I smell coolant and oil and gas and, ugh, yeah, that smells awesome. There are 2 more bolts I couldn't see, and there's a bunch of wires that are prohibiting me from taking it off, just because there's a hose connected to it, so I think that's the return, or the rear flange for the coolant. So let's remove that too. Now that we got that flange removed, move all these hoses out of the way. We should be able to just pop that bad boy off. There go all my nuts. And there you go. So, let's take a gander at our engine. Yeah, let's remove our gasket here. And take a look. I'll set the camera down so I can do this. There's our gasket. Ooh, dripping oil. So here's our head gasket. I'm going to clean this up and see if I can find the culprit. So that'll do it for this video. Stay tuned for next video when I start installing the new head gasket and replacing all the old gaskets on the head. That'll be next video. And probably a video after that. And then, yeah, so stay tuned for that. If you found this video informative, please be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more. And as always, no matter your skill level or your experience, keep on improving.